It's been a while since we've done a good old-fashioned penny box battle series. This is part one of a three-part series where RFT's boxes take on some Rhode Island boxes provided by Grunt Diggers on Facebook. Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and that is a lot of pennies on this table. This is going to be a three-part video series. Now, I have done a box battle series against Big Al, Rhode Island Relic Diggers, or Grunt Diggers on Facebook, and I will have a link to both his Facebook page, which is meant for those that have served or are currently serving in our armed forces. And again, thank you all for your service to our country and providing us with the liberties and freedoms that we enjoy. And last time we did this battle, if I recall, he beat my butt pretty good because I had included a lot of the Canadians and a lot of the 09s that scored a lot of points. I can't remember exactly how badly he beat me, but I'll have a link to that video series down below if you want to check out the first round of three boxes we did. So this is my penny box battle score sheet. I've got the things that we're looking for and the amount of points that is associated with those finds. At the end of his box, we'll plug in all of his finds, calculate his points. Then we'll do my box one, plug in my finds, get my points, and see who won round one. We'll do that for all three rounds, all six boxes, 2 boxes per round. Now, he sent these to me, and he had labeled these boxes as such. He had to pop the top box to make sure it was circulated cents, which it is, and he left these two sealed for me because he could see by the holes in the bottoms that they were circulated cents. For my three, I actually had to pop all the tops on them to make sure I had circulated cents, which I do. Didn't see any fancy schmancy enders on the top side of mine, to be honest, and I didn't take much time to look at his, so we're just going to call it what it is. Let me go ahead and clear away some of these boxes and only leave these two on the top, and we'll get to hunting to see if RobFindsTreasure can get revenge and beat these Rhode Island penny boxes from Grunt Diggers. All right, we've got the table set, and I will make mention the reason why I'm not including the 09s is I no longer pull them out. I have my fair share of beautiful 09 full sets, so I don't pull them out of circulation anymore, only because I have quite a few of them. So those won't play a factor in the score sheet. But I do account for foreign coins. They do get a small percentage of points. About every 4 foreign coins is a point. I would imagine him being in Rhode Island, closer to the Canadian border, he's going to see a lot more Canadian cents than I do. So right off the bat, he has kind of a small advantage, but that doesn't mean much. He'd have to get a ton of foreigns to even have it play a factor in the overall scoring. We've talked long enough. I'm going to start cracking rolls. We'll do the Rhode Island box one first, and we'll see if we can impart some revenge. Well, the Rhode Island Grunt Diggers box is off to a fast start because roll number one has already got a wheat cent reverse facing, and it's going to be a 1936 to boot, minted in Philly. So we got to check it for the 36 DDO, which I don't see. It's heavily doubled on the date, and I always just take a quick peek at the rest of the motto and the word liberty, just in case. But either way, 1936 wheat cent number one, Grunt Diggers is on the board. Same roll, and Grunt Diggers is coming out swinging. He's got a 1952 Philly, wheat cent number 2 already. We could be in trouble because roll number 2 just opened it, second coin in, almost an ender. I see the reverse of another wheat cent number 3. And that's a 51 Denver. Roll number 6, wheat cent number 4 already, right behind that copper cent. 1958 Denver. Roll number 7, wheat cent number 5. We might be in for a shellacking. And that's a 1935. It's even older. 5 wheat cents, and I already saw it. We've got another Canadian. That's already number 3. Roll number 8, wheat cent number 6. Reverse facing and pretty chewed up. 1944 Philadelphia. Just grabbed roll 10 out of the box, flipped it around, and it's a wheat cent ender. It's going to be wheat cent number 7 already. Not even done with 10 rolls. That wheat cent ender a 1950 Philly. Oh, and another Canadian behind it. 1985. Same roll. Wheat cent number 8. 1947 Philly. Roll number 11 is going to produce wheat cent number 9. Almost 1 wheat cent per roll, and that is a 1941. So I guess we'll check it for any of the doubling. I don't see any doubling on Liberty. None on the date. And none on the motto. Either way, 1941, wheat cent number 9. Roll 13, wheat cent number 10. A 1955 Denver. Roll 15, wheat cent number 11. This one, and that's a 1934, and there is a counter strike on the 34 below the 3 and 4. I just wanted to double check it because I don't see a lot of these cents, and I don't see it. Either way, that is now the oldest of the box. 34, 35, 36, 3 from the 30s. Roll 16, a dozen wheat cents. 1946, Philadelphia. Roll 18, Baker's dozen, 13th wheat cent facing us was a 57, Denver. Roll number 19, wheat cent number 14, a 53 Philadelphia wheat cent, standing proud. Roll number 20, and the hole is getting dug deeper for me. No pun intended, Grunt diggers. But we've got our 15 wheat cent, and this is a 55 Denver. Roll number 22, wheat cent number 16. This one's going to be a 1945 Philadelphia. Roll 24, we're going to have wheat cents 17 and 18 because in front of this is a 1958 Denver, and I see some wheat ears behind it. So 58D will make number 17, and the reverse facing one will make a 19. Is that a 55S? No, 55D. Roll 27, wheat cent number 19, and we're almost at 20. And I believe that's a 45S. And it is. 19 wheat cents, 23 more rolls, still to hunt. Same roll, and the second to the last cent is going to be one of those state cents. And I believe that's Michigan. Let's put it under the scope. And yes, it is. You can see the thumb and the fingers. And the lake, I guess. A Michigan counterstruck state penny. Can't get mad at that. Nice oddity in the Rhode Island box, for sure. Roll 29, wheat cent number 20. And this one's going to be a 1945 Philly in great shape. Roll 34, wheat cent number 21. 1940 Philadelphia. Thought it might have been a 48 for a second, but it's not. Same roll. Wheat cent 22 is going to be a 1944 Philadelphia. Roll 35. I'm not showing all the Canadians, but whenever they're 1964 or older, they're going to be a King George or a Laureate portrait. And this is going to be a Young Head or Laureate portrait, 1964, oldest Canadian of the box, which now makes 11. Same roll, and wheat cent number 23 of the hunt's going to be a 56 Denver. Just grabbed roll 41 out of the box, flipped it over, and we've got wheat cent number 24 on the end. Let's see what year it is. That wheat cent ender, 57 Denver. Same roll. Wheat cent 25 is going to be another one from the 30s, 1938. Roll 42, and Canadian number 13 will be another young head, so it's going to be 64 or earlier, and it's 64. Well, that's it for the Rhode Island Grunt Diggers box, and I guess it decided to have a little mercy on me because the wheat cents did slow down. Either way, there's 25 on the board, 12 from the 50s, 9 from the 40s, 4 from the 30s, the oldest cent being that 1934 cent that we found, so nothing older than that, but quite a few finds. We also found that counter-struck Michigan State penny right there. 14 Canadians, 2 were Youngheads, 2 1959s, 5 stunners, no 69S's. Also, almost a full cup of copper. That was a fun box. Thankfully, no varieties to really add insult to injury. I'm not sure my box can compete with this, but we've got to plug this in the stat sheet, and I will do that, but I'll save the totals until after I've hunted my box and we see who the winner is. Let me clear off the finds, plug them in the stat sheet, and start cracking rolls in the RFT1 box. Roll number 4 of the RFT box, and we're going to have our first wheat cent, and it's also going to be from the 30s. Both boxes led off with a wheat cent in the 30s, but it took me 4 rolls. Grunt Diggers had his first wheat cent in roll 1. Roll number 8, and RFT is going to have his second wheat cent, and look at this. We also got a 1934. First 2 wheat cents are from the 30s, and I'm just checking it for that variety that you can find, and I don't see it. But either way, 1934 for me, 1937 for me, but through 7 rolls. Roll 13, wheat cent number 3. This one's going to be a 1937. I don't know what's going on with all of the 30s wheat cents lately, but we got another one as well, and I think we have 2 37s and a 34. Roll number 18, wheat cent number 4. Now, I doubt this one's from the 30s, but it is a 49S, and I'll take it. We're on roll 33, and I'm going to have my 5th wheat cent out of the box, and if you can believe it or not, it's our 3rd from 1937. 3 1937s out of the 5 wheat cents in this box. Just grabbed roll 34 out of the box, flipped it around, and we've got a damaged 1958 from where it was crimped. But it'll be wheat cent number 6 nonetheless. 1958 wheat cent is confirmed. We needed a wheat cent from the 50s, and now we got one. Roll number 36, and we've got our 7th wheat cent finally. Reverse facing, 1948, Philadelphia. Roll 38 is going to be a good one for me because it's going to have 2 wheat cents, number 8 and number 9. I noticed that we had a 1954S right here, so I flattened out the roll, and I see the reverse of another one back there. So as mentioned, number 8 will be a 1954S. Always good seeing S-minted wheat cents. And number 9 will be a 1941, which means we get to check that one for any doubling. There's 3 different DDOs, one at the date, which I didn't see, and one that you can see on Liberty and on the motto, which I also don't see, but I'll take 9 wheat cents, one away from double digits. Roll number 39, and we have scored our 10th wheat cent of my box. Pretty trashy. Hopefully it's an oldie though. And it's not that old. It's going to be a 1944. Let me just double check because it's a little bit toasty. Yeah, 1944. So that makes wheat cent number 10. Moving right along. Roll 41 is going to produce wheat cent number 11. Again, reverse facing. And is that another 1937? And that is another 1937. Let me just double check. It is, and a slight lamination error, but could also be damaged from a long time ago. It looks like it could be lamination there, but either way, not a variety I'm going to count as points. 1937, 4th of the box. Roll 37, and we're going to have a dozen wheat cents of our own. So not a bad box for me. It's going to pale in comparison to his great box, but that's a 47 Denver, and I'll take that all day as well. Roll 39, our 13th wheat cent. 1952 Philadelphia. Roll number 50 is going to give us our 14th wheat cent, and it's another from the 30s, but this time not a 37, a 39. We'll take it. It's more points for the series, even though we're probably going to lose the box battle. Well, that does it for the RFT1 box, and like I said in earlier clips, it was actually a pretty good box. 14 wheat cents. We got 3 only in the 50s, 5 only in the 40s, but 6 in the 30s, including 4 from 1937, the oldest being a 1934, similar to Grunt Digger's box. We actually also ended up with 6 59s, 2 beauties. One's a 72S and the other's a 68S, and I do collect those nicer S minted Lincoln Memorial cents. And we actually got one 69S, but not the DDO. As far as the copper went, my usual, just about half a cup. I'm always lighter on copper in my area because I've been pulling it out for the last 3.5 years, and I'm still surprised I see what I see in the boxes. Let me plug in my stats, although I can pretty much tell you we're going to lose this round, but at least we had a pretty good box. I'll be right back with the totals and the wrap-up. All right, the stats are plugged in, and based on that fantastic box by Grunt Diggers, he definitely beat me. 63.5 points to my 39.5. I will point out that I don't mind getting beat when they're fun boxes to hunt like he had, and quite honestly, I had fun hunting mine. Mine was a better than average box, but just not good enough to beat him out. This is only round 1 of a 3-round series. He's taken round 1, but the overall series still has 2 boxes to go, and it's the winner of the overall series that matters. I want to remind everyone once again to check out the links for Grunt Diggers down below in the video description, and I also want to thank Grunt Diggers for this first round battle of these pennies. If you enjoyed this box battle series against Grunt Diggers and RFT, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.